The tags are very interesting. Like, we've got bedwetting, humiliation, the average, diapers, of course, and some other tags that I cannot read on this website. Hey, YouTube party people, what is up? Zarina back at it again with another video. What did I drop? I just dropped my audio interface. Anyways, let's get into it. So today we are going to be reading Mouthwashing Fanfiction. I know, hold your applause. I'm excited too. I wanted to film this video a few days ago, actually. It's a banger idea, I know. I was on the toilet thinking like, what should I do for my next video? Because as much as I love making videos, coming up with the ideas for the videos is the hardest part. I love making videos, but 90% of the time I'm like, what should I even make a video on? And I couldn't do it because I have been sick, love it, love having the common cold, and anyways, that's enough rambling about my life. Please comment about any updates in your life. I'm genuinely happy to hear them. I love comments. Can I just say, I value comments above anything else. Likes, subscriptions, idgaf, comments. I legitimately get so excited when there are notifications for comments. Anyways, that was like 3 straight minutes of me yapping. So like always, timestamps are in the description, so don't complain about my yapping, or do, because I like that engagement. But anyways, today we are going to be reading Mouthwashing Fanfiction, and I'm very excited actually because I played Mouthwashing for the first time like a few nights ago. I think it was like last week, I don't know, but I played it in one sitting because it's a short game, and I have to say, it's peak. We might as well call it peak washing because that's what it is. And overall, a great game. And I had to like, a lot of the story, a lot of the pivotal moments in the story like didn't really dawn on me until after I finished it. And I was like, holy crap, good game, very Evangelion inspired. That's the vibe I was getting. Very much like Third Impact type shit was going on in there. And great game, but as you know, we can never have like a popular game appear. Any popular piece of media cannot thrive without the fandom. They're always gonna get fandoms, and that's fine with me. That's totally a-okay with me. But I'm not gonna lie, did Mouthwash really need a fandom? To me, it's not really a fandomifable type of game. I don't know. Maybe it's because the story, I just felt like it stood on its own. It was a very good one-time thing. The characters, though, didn't really appeal to me in terms of like a fandom way. I don't ship anyone on that ship, no pun intended. Because honestly, they all give me the vibes like for the most part, they don't even like each other. They're just co-workers. I could see it being like a trauma bond type of thing going on. But overall, I could not see like Swansea with anyone, although I do know there's people who ship Swansea with Daisuke, which is crazy to me. I saw that as like a father-son thing, because like, I don't know, I just saw Swansea as more so the mentor. Anya with anyone on that ship? Hell nah. Get Anya away from those men, okay? Even though I know Swansea and Daisuke didn't do anything wrong. Sorry about that. My cat was at the door. Look at him. Fun fact, he is getting neutered tomorrow. My baby is finally getting the big chop chop, so enjoy it while it lasts, Yuki. Anyways, as I was saying, we need to get Anya far away from these men, all right? Anya, I'm gonna get you out of there, princess. I know Swansea and Daisuke didn't really actually do anything to her. It's still a matter of like, I don't think she wants to be around any of those men, okay? And then the other ship that I'm not shocked to see, but I am a little disappointed in my fellow Fujoshis. Fujoshis, where are we? Fujoshi Nation, rise up! Like, I get it, yo. I get it. You love the yaoi, you live for the yaoi, you crave the yaoi. So do I, girl. I get it. But Curly and Jimmy? What is wrong with y'all? Come on. Do not give Jimmy even a modicum of respect. Any fan fiction with Jimmy should result in him getting beat up and only beat up. All right, he ain't even cute. He ain't even cute like that. What is wrong with y'all? All right, so Curly and Jimmy, get that out of here. All right, Jimmy and Anya,
Kill yourself!
Anya and Curly,
Kill yourself!
listen, I gotta be 100% honest here. I think the best ship on that ship, I guess, would be like Curly and Swansea. I don't even know. You know what? Maybe Anya and Swansea would be kind of cool. Who knows? I could see him like really protecting her. I don't know. All I know is I don't ship anyone in mouthwashing, and y'all are crazy. So I figured the best thing to do here would be to read fan fiction, because I do want to see what AO3 has to offer with this game. So let's do it. Let's go into the AO3 tag. Okay, baby, here we are. Let's do, actually, if I do sort by hits, it's gonna be like actually really good stuff. I know that most of the fanfictions are probably really good serious ones, but I want to look and see if there's anything like vor or something. I just want to peruse it. And I do actually have two I already picked out just in case, but I do want to just traverse the tag organically, and you and me can go on a little adventure. So let's go. Oh. So the first thing that came up is stuff I cannot say on this site, but it involves Anya, and it is some very bad stuff happening to Anya, and I don't think I can agree with that. All right, let the girl live, please. Let her live. Okay. Time travel, fix it. As in, yes, he's fixed the problem, Jimmy, but he will also have to keep living. Curly haunting Jimmy. Not enough vor, I fear. Okay, I don't want anything with Jimmy having a happy ending. Get that shit out of my face. Right? Doing it by newest? A universe in which a younger Jimmy is bullied for liking My Little Pony and thinks he finally has a friend who accepts him, but he's disappointed to see that he abandons him. I don't really care, because that sounds like Jimmy's gonna get a happy ending. No, I want to see Jimmy get the shit beat out of him. All right? Sorry, the toad just possessed me for a second. Bruh, come on! We need something fucked up! Come on! Eye licking? No. Yo. The premise of this is so f***ed up, I shouldn't even say it. Okay, I'm just gonna, oh my god, no. If I read that, people are gonna think I'm so fucked up for laughing as I read it. I'm gonna get canceled for it. Oh my god, what the hell? No, I shouldn't read this out loud. Curly has a babysitting job taking care of 5-year-old Daisuke. Unfortunately, he gets called out of work and needs a replacement, so he puts his trust into his all-time best friend, Jimmy. Don't ever trust Jimmy, especially not with an adorable 5-year-old Daisuke. I don't think I really have to tell you what is gonna happen in this fanfiction. That's like advanced fucked upness. All the Jimmy and Curly, disgusting, y'all. Disgusting. Jimmy. Curly, too. He's not innocent at all. But, oh my god. Fujo was like, y'all will literally ship anything. As long as it's two able-bodied young men, y'all will ship anything. Absolutely anything. It is crazy. Have some standards, y'all. Fellow Fujoshis, have some standards. Someone made a group chat fanfiction with like crossovers, and it's like Peter Parker, Michael Afton, Monkey D. Luffy, or is it Luffy? Do y'all say Luffy or Luffy? I've always read it as Luffy. Leon S. Kennedy, Adam Murray, I don't know who that is, Curly mouthwashing. This is a crazy crossover. Like, how is Curly gonna text him, bro? There are a lot of dead dove fanfictions, which, like, obviously fork found in kitchen. I don't think that's very shocking. I found one. Hold up. The description of this is, I know how to solve this irredeemable character. Make him wear diapers. Pony Express fired everyone and Jimmy destroyed precious cargo. Jimmy and Curly stole some adult medical supplies like diapers and sparks flew. Jimmy has been incontinent his whole life and Curly is a freak who doesn't care. Don't like, don't read. Which I agree. If you don't like it, don't read it. But holy shit. This is what I was looking for, y'all. This is what I was looking for. Diapers is perfect. So this is a series. So I clicked on the series. And the first one says, if someone else has the guts to post an ABDL fanfiction of mouthwashing, then so can I. Oh. Wow. They started a trend. What's the original? What are they inspired by? Let me see if they posted it. Because actually, this is what we're gonna read. Inspired by taking matters into our own hands by Wet Turtle Farts. I wonder what Wet Turtle Farts is into. Oh, well, this is definitely fetish. Of course, no doubt about it. The tags are very interesting. Like, we've got bedwetting, humiliation, the average, diapers, of course, and some other tags that I cannot read on this website. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna read as much as I can and keep it as PG as possible, and I'm going to omit any text or like words, anything, any graphic scenes. I will not be reading them, okay? As much as I want to read this Jimmy Diaper fan fiction all the way through for you, I fear that I have to be safe, all right? I wish I could read the whole diaper fanfic for you. Anyways, let's go. Also, really quick disclaimer. I say this all the time, but especially for my fanfiction reading videos, please, if this video like blows up on the off chance, do not send any hate to these authors. Do not look up this fanfiction for the intention of spreading hate. I don't condone that at all. I don't like to see my videos as a form of hate. I see it as more of like teasing, because I also write fanfiction, okay? I also consume it and I write it. I'm very unapologetic about it, so like I get it. This is just teasing. I'm not pointing and laughing at the author. I'm just like fascinated by the work. That's all. It's just good content. That's all it is. All right, none of this is real. Just remember that. Let's get into it. This is the summary. Jimmy, the delusional man, snuck into the woman's sleeping quarters. He was just beginning to lower his nasty, probably shit-stained underwear when suddenly a strong arm wrapped around his neck from behind. He was caught in the act by Swansea, who had noticed Jimmy slipping around like the snake he was. Oh! Slippin' Jimmy! She said it! Slippin' Jimmy! After discussing what they should do with Jimmy until they return to Earth, and plenty of "I didn't do it" from Jimmy, the crew decides to infantilize Jimmy. Although Curly had always been trying to stick up for the man, he decided what he did was too far and may or may not have spilled some secrets about Jimmy and his bedwetting habits. And that was the fuel to start the fire that led to Jimmy being stuck in a year-long situation that made his ego ache. This is just a I want to be him so bad self-insert situation. Listen, I'm not gonna shame anyone here. I'm not gonna shame anyone. I'm going to bite my tongue, but y'all are a little goofy. Just a little bit goofy, all right? Just a little bit goofy. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, chapter 1. Jimmy had been planning this for a while, ever since he laid eyes on Anya. But what's gonna happen? I don't. Okay, you know what? We're not gonna read this part. We're not gonna read this part. All right, it's describing what happened in canon. We're gonna skip ahead. We're trying to keep this video PG. Let's see. So I'm just gonna start here. He's in the middle of doing it. He's about to lower his underoos until the arm of what could have been mistaken for a professional wrestler wrapped around his throat. Caught off guard, he got yoinked back and slammed onto the floor hard enough to force the air out of his lungs. As he gasped, he looked up. Swansea stood over him, looking about ready to stomp his head in. Get his ass, Swansea! The next few minutes went by in a blur for Jimmy. The only thing that stuck was the scowl on Swansea's face and the fact that he was now tied down in a chair. He was anxious about what would happen now that there were two witnesses. senses. He sat there lost in his own little world as he watched the crew talk. He couldn't hear what they were saying, but Swansea was yelling, Anya was on the brink of tears, and Curly looked both disappointed and like he was trying to convince the others that this had to be some sort of misunderstanding. That second look didn't stay for long. Jimmy, who was silently convincing himself he did no wrong, felt his anxiety spike when he heard one specific word. Swansea was going to him. Jimmy closed his eyes tightly in case that would happen, not
Stop fucking stuttering.
not wanting to know when the bullet hit. Oh my god. Oh! Okay. Despite this, no gun was pulled out, and Jimmy fell asleep, ticking off the old man who wanted to just beat the bastard with a sack of bar soap. Curly managed to convince everyone at this time that Jimmy would only cause more problems. What would they do if Curly became injured and they had no pilot? What would they do with the corpse? After a bit of brainstorming and just a teensy little bit of spilled secrets, it was decided that Jimmy was going to be treated how he had been acting, like a child with no self-control. You love to see it. Upon waking in the morning, Jimmy found that he had been stripped of his normal clothes. He was also tied down at the wrists. Mittens covered his hands. Upon further inspection, he was in some sort of onesie and diaper. How the hell did the others get a onesie while they were up in space? The diaper he thought belonged to him since his poor excuse of parents hadn't bothered to potty train him. But it wasn't his. The crew had found a large crate in the cargo hold that belonged to the owners of Pony Express. It had all sorts of ABDL gear, but they only intended to infantilize Jimmy, not feed into his desires. A moment later, the door opened. Damn. So the Pony Express owners are like doing some shit and they just left it in the cargo hold? You know what I was thinking, bro? How am I gonna find memes? How am I gonna find good visuals for this? Curly sheepishly entered the room and pulled up a chair.
Yeah.
He sat beside Jimmy, looking down at his old friend.
Hey bud, don't freak out, bud. We're doing this to punish you for what you did to Anya.
He quickly explained, mentally bracing to get screamed at. Jimmy was quick to snap at the taller male.
Get this shit off me or I'll you all.
Not even a second later, Curly pushed a pacifier into Jimmy's mouth to silence him. He didn't want to, but the screaming wasn't very nice to his sensitive ears. Despite being the captain, Swansea had to firmly lecture Curly about being too nice and told him to get a spine and let Jimmy know who was boss around here.
I know you don't want this, but this could have been avoided had you not tried to assault Anya. You owe her an apology and you will apologize whether you want to or not.
Curly finally mustered out. His words hit Jimmy like a bus. He wasn't used to being stood up to, especially by Curly. Jimmy was almost left in a daze, but he decided to try and get his way. He wasn't one to give up so easily. Period. Literally just beat him up, bro. What kind of punishment is this? This is crazy. Alright, I would have just immediately been like... Jimmy forced himself to spill out some crocodile tears, dramatically wailing and babbling about Curly hating him. Curly's first instinct was to reassure Jimmy and pamper him, but he stuck with his promise to Swansea. Curly did have to get up and leave, though. Watching his friend cry hurt his heart. Swansea didn't hesitate to go in after Curly left. Curly regretted leaving it to Swansea since he knew the older man wasn't going to be nice about this in the slightest. That was like a demonic possession type shit. Hold up. My microphone just like unplugged from the wall, but we're good. We're back. Where were we? After what felt like an hour of yelling, fake tears, real tears, and excuses, Swansea emerged from the room. He was carrying a wailing Jimmy, who may or may not have gotten a spanking or two. His diaper was already soiled, but it seemed like he would have to go sit in timeout before he got changed. What the fuck am I reading? It just like dawned on me. I'm like, bro, is this even good? Should I really read this? Like, this is fed content. You know what? I think I'm gonna pass on this one, actually. We're just gonna go to... We're gonna find something else. This is actually a little crazy. Let's find another fanfiction. Let's go. Okay, this one actually seems promising. It's called Mouthwashing Yanderes. Yanderes? Yanders! You know what I'm talking about? Various yandere mouthwash headcanon / scenarios by yandere specialist Epicness Queen. Yandere headcanons and scenarios of the Pony Express crew being yanderes for the reader. There are many ways these fives can be in obsessive love with you. And then they put in parentheses, in Archive of Our Own, there could be some more bad things, like she just lists some stuff that I can't say. I do not support this in real life. Yanderes just do not care about consent or family poo. They're not okay in real life. Yanderes just be sussy as frick. Okay. I cannot tell. This person is definitely f***ing around. They have to be f***ing around, but I looked at their account and like I'm pretty sure they're serious, which is honestly based, in my opinion. Yandere Epicness Queen, honestly, you're the GOAT. Just embracing your inner cringe and shit like that, I support it. I honestly support it. If you are unapologetic, I support you. So the first chapter is just them like introducing their fanfiction. So let's go to chapter 2. Chapter 2, base yandere Jimmy headcanons, no accountability. Just so you know, if you don't know what yandere is, am I pronouncing that right? I pronounce like tsundere is like tsundere. I don't know if that's right, but yandere is basically where like you are so possessive over your partner that you will literally like kill anyone who interacts with them out of jealousy. They're just so obsessed with you that it's like they will kill anyone else close to you. Doesn't matter if it's your family, doesn't matter if it's a cashier at a grocery store, they will do it. So that's what we're dealing with here. Hello, my sexy muffins. Now, I know on YouTube the majority of you voted for Daisuke, but this one was requested, so it will be done before that. Disclaimer, Jimmy is insane and is a horrible piece of poo. But he is not yandere in canon, and this is just for fun and not to be taken seriously at all. Simping for fictional characters, yanderes, villains, and such is fine, just do not be illegal or gross about it. You know who you are, you dirty flaky biscuits. Yanderes are not ideal partners to have in real life. Also, remember to separate fiction from reality and headcanon from canon. I mean, I agree with that. I just don't know what they mean by illegal. Like, what do you mean illegal? What are y'all doing with these fanfictions? Are y'all like putting them on like the black market or something? What do y'all mean by illegal? Okay, but I do agree, like, it's all fiction. Don't remember. Just remember, it's not real. So there's a trigger warning because it's mentioning the canon and stuff. But how's Jimmy being yandere? Could I get canceled for this? I don't want it to seem like I'm glorifying Jimmy. I don't know. Like a Jimmy X Reader fanfiction. Let me look up Jimmy dies. AO3 mouthwashing. Because ultimately, why is everyone here glorifying Jimmy, romanticizing him? Let's do something a little cathartic. I found a good fanfic. It's short, but hey, if you lasted this long, then we're just gonna read about Jimmy getting beat the f*** up. From the beginning, you knew that the crash didn't make sense. It wasn't logical. It didn't make sense for Curly to do what he did, nor did it make sense for Jimmy to be put in charge. You said nothing. You just watched, listened, and waited. Oh yes, you watched very hard, very diligently. You did not like what you saw. From your close proximity and the lack of escape on the cargo ship, there was no avoiding the truth. It was going to happen eventually. It all traced back to Anya. Anya is an angel, a classic beauty that men would appreciate back on Earth, but the wrong man appreciated her here. It began with her posture. When he was around her, her posture became rigid and there was an unwavering focus. She instinctively watched every move Jimmy made when he was near her. What set it off, though, was the discomfort that filled her whole body anytime he approached. The way she curled into herself, doubting herself whenever he was around. And deep down, you just knew that he had violated her in a way she wouldn't come back from. And there he was, walking around fully as if he had not done anything, as if he would not face consequences. You couldn't stand it. You took to following him around, watching his every move. The tense, aggressive conversations he had with Swansea were noticeable. There was the weirdly guilt-ridden interactions he had with Daisuke. And then, with Anya, there was never any warmth. He showed a cold, divisive personality that seemed reserved only for her. It aggravated your soul, sending fury pumping through your entire being. You felt a sudden need for vengeance deep into the core of your entire being. Period. Outside of medbay, you listened to the conversation happening inside. Peeking into the door, you saw Anya with the stiff and closed stance while Jimmy stood uncomfortably close to her. You heard snippets of their conversation, restraining yourself from acting immediately. He doesn't want to keep still anymore. It was true. It was hard to see Curly writhing around in his bed, groaning in pain. It kept you up late at night, robbing you of sleep. Almost made you want to come down to the med bay and put him out of his misery, and then maybe everyone could finally get some sleep. What about the painkillers? You rolled your eyes, shaking your head slightly. Those painkillers would do nothing to alleviate Curly's pain. It was a miracle that he was still alive. Once again, suspicion grew. It didn't take a nurse to know that. It just hurts him so much. I can't stand the noise. You did make it through nursing school, right? Oh, how you hated this man, always doubting her capabilities in these stressful situations. You tuned out most of the conversation from that point, trying not to listen to his sly remarks and insults directed at Anya. You know what? Let's skip to Jimmy getting the shit beat out of him. I'll take care of it. So would you. They didn't even listen to whatever conversation Jimmy was having with Curly. You walked into another room and grabbed the fire hydrant off the wall. It would be too suspicious to do it in the med bay. Slowly, you walked back into the med bay, creeping up behind him. He didn't even have time to turn around before you slammed the fire hydrant against the back of his head. You watched him crumble onto the floor, hearing Curly's noises rise in volume. You didn't stop there though. The first crack noise his head made upon impact wasn't enough. You kept the hydrant onto his head over and over and over again until Jimmy's head was nothing but a mess on the floor. You didn't even notice Curly go quiet until you looked at him and realized his mouth was open, but not a single sound escaped. He stared in disbelief and, oddly enough, fear. Your gaze locked onto Curly's as you moved closer to him. Captain, if I find out you had any part in what he did to Anya, you leaned closer to him. I will come back here and kill you too. You dropped the fire hydrant onto Jimmy's body and slowly walked out of the room, running into Anya in the hallway. It will be easy to. Most of us are expecting you to anyway. Damn! On your way out, you peeked into the room and watched a myriad of emotions play across Anya's face. Surprise, disgust, acceptance, gratitude. You saw her posture slowly fix itself and she looked over at you with a slight smile. We should probably do something about that. Good. He deserves it. He deserves nothing but the worst. And Anya, she just needed someone to do this for her, bro. If someone just did this to Jimmy from the very beginning, then we wouldn't have had the game. Just saying. Anyways, I actually do not know if this was a good video or not. But that's about it. See ya.
Bye-bye.